Hey everyone, welcome to today's video lesson, Unit 6.4. We are working with multiplying polynomials. So we're going to think back to our exponent rules. When we multiply, what do we do with the exponents? Okay, and we add those together. So we're going to use that rule and we're going to combine that with polynomials now today. So remember, adding and subtracting are like terms. And we're going to see how we can distribute and multiply different types of polynomials. So in the first type of problems, we're going to multiply a monomial, which we know is one term, to a polynomial. Okay, so all we're going to have to do here is distribute and just make sure that we add the exponents for each like term, and we're going to multiply any coefficients that might come up. Okay, so here we are multiplying the monomial of 5m to a binomial. Okay, so we're distributing that. So I'm going to take 5m and multiply it to 3m. So my coefficients give me 15. And when I add my exponents, because this is m to the first times m to the first, I get an m squared. Okay, and then we're going to finish distributing 5m to 4. So we get a 20m. Now we do have to bring in our skills from adding and subtracting polynomials to determine, are any of these like terms and do we need to combine? So m squared and m to the first are not like terms, so that is my final answer. Alright, so still distributing a monomial to a polynomial. We've just now got some more variables in each term. Okay, so we're taking 3a squared b, and remember that is b to the first, and we are multiplying that in. Okay, so coefficients, 3 times 6 gets me 18, and I'm going to add my exponents. So a to the 5th b squared. So that is my first term. Remember, each term is individual, and we use the appropriate signs from the multiplication. So now when I distribute the 3a squared b, this becomes a minus 12a to the 3rd, b to the 5th. Okay, so they are two separate terms. It is very important that we have operations between each term. So anytime you perform a separate distribution, you should put down a separate term. Now when I look at these, a to the 5th b squared does not match a cubed b to the 5th. While they have the same variables, they do not have the same exponents, and they are not like terms, which means we are not combining anything, and that is your final answer. Okay, we're now distributing to 3 terms inside the parentheses. Okay, so negative 2x squared times 3x squared. Multiply your coefficients and add your exponents. So I want you to pause and try and do this example right now. This gets me negative 6x to the 4th plus 14x cubed minus 20x squared. So each individual distribution produces an individual term, and that means you need an operation in between each one. Now, x to the fourth, x cubed, and x squared are not like terms. We're going to leave them. There is nothing to be combined here. That is your final answer. Okay. Our second type of problem is going to be multiplying two binomials together. So a binomial has two terms in it. So it's a two-term expression times another two-term expression. We're going to use a method called FOIL. Now, FOIL is just a trick to help you remember how and the order in which to multiply. Okay, so it stands for first, outer, inner, last. So it's just the order in which you multiply the terms. It doesn't actually solve the problem for you. It's just a little trick to help you remember. So let's see what FOIL is talking about. So here are my two binomials. Okay, so first represents multiplying the first term in each parenthesis. So x times x, remember you're adding the exponents. It's x squared and not 2x. Outer is when you multiply the two outside terms of the entire problem. So that would be x times 7. And that is plus 7x. Inner are the two inside terms from the entire problem. That's 5 times x, which is plus 5x. And then last is the last term in each parenthesis, 5 times 7, which is 35. Okay, so all FOIL does is make sure that you multiply both of the terms in the first binomial to each term in the second binomial. You want to get all combinations of the multiplication there. Now, there is a second step to this problem because I noticed that there are like terms in the middle, 7x and 5x. I need to combine those. So remember your adding polynomials. 7x plus 5x, you combine the coefficients and the variable and exponent stays the same. So x squared plus 12x plus 35 becomes my final answer. Okay, we're going to do this again now. Example number 2. So first, 4y times y gets me 4y squared. 4y times 8, that's my outer, 32y. My inner terms are 3 times y. And my last is 3 times 8. So plus 24. Okay, and again, I see that there are like terms. 32y and 3y have the same variable, and so they need to be combined. Okay, so we just combine the coefficients. That's going to make a 35y, and we bring down the other terms. Remember, each distribution, and that's really all that foiling is. It's distributing, just in a different order. Okay, so each unique distribution provides a unique term in the problem, meaning there has to be an operation, a plus or a minus, in between each term. Now, FOIL problems can be expressed in a different form. A minus 4 to the second power is not the exponent rule of power to a power. Okay, because this is not a monomial. and we know we can only apply exponent rules to monomials. So this is not power to a power, because a minus 4 is not a monomial. Instead, what that means, because it is squared, squared means to multiply by itself. So that really means a minus 4 times a minus 4. So this is kind of just a special case of a FOIL problem where the binomials are the same expressions. So if I do first a times a, remember, add the exponents. It's a squared. Outer gets me minus 4a. Inner gets me minus 4a as well. And then last, just watch your signs, plus 16. Okay, I do have like terms to combine. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. Okay, so a squared minus 8a plus 16. Make sure you are only adding and subtracting the like terms. So at this point, if you want to pause your video and try and do example 4 on your own, I highly recommend it, and then come back and join us once you have an answer to check. Okay, so I know that this is a FOIL problem because there is an operation inside the parenthesis, not power to a power. So this means I'm multiplying it by itself. First is 2m times 2m. So multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. 4m squared. Outer gets me plus 18m. The inner gets me the same thing. And last is plus 81. Okay, again we have like terms, 18m plus 18m. So combine the coefficients, and the variable and the exponent stay the same when we add. 4m squared plus 36m plus 81. Our third and final type of problem is multiplying a binomial to a trinomial. So a 2-term expression into a 3-term expression. Okay, so we are just going to do a lot of distributing. We're going to take the first term in the binomial and multiply that to everything, and then we're going to take the second term of the binomial and multiply that to everything. Okay, combine any like terms that we have, and we're going to state our final answer in descending order. So step number 3 is very important. Okay, when we talk about descending order, we're referring to the exponents. So remember, descending is largest to smallest. Let's take a look. So x plus 1 is our binomial. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 is our trinomial. So I'm going to start with the x, and I'm going to multiply that into my trinomial. So x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. And then I'm going to take x and multiply it to the second term of the trinomial. I get negative 3x squared. Multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. Okay, and finally the third term of our trinomial gets me plus x. Okay, so this term in the binomial has now been multiplied and it's done. So if you want to cross it off, just like I have, might not be a bad idea. Because we're now going to take the second term of our binomial and distribute that to everything in the trinomial. Now this is a very simple one because you're distributing 1 to everything. So we're going to get plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. We're going to identify our like terms now. So minus 3x squared plus 2x squared, sorry, and then x and negative 3x. Okay, we want to combine our like terms. Remember, you're just combining the coefficients. So negative 3x squared plus 2x squared is negative x squared. Okay, if there's nothing more to combine, then that is our final answer. We'll do one more of these. Okay, so remember, start with the first term in the binomial. Pick a color that stands out here, and distribute that one at a time to everything in the trinomial. Okay, so to the m squared gets us 2m cubed. Distribute to the negative 7m. It's minus 14m squared because it's m to the first times m to the first, and we add, and plus 4m. Okay, so that first term, this is now completed. Go ahead and cross it out. And now work on distributing the 3. So we have plus 3m squared minus 21m plus 6. Okay, identify and combine your like terms. And then go ahead and simplify. So 2m cubed minus 11m squared minus 17m plus 6. So those are the 3 types of problems for multiplying monomials. Okay, I hope that you found this to be pretty decent. If you have any questions, please make sure to include those in your notes. Okay, and I thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.